Put it in those metaphorical terms. Intellectually, in terms of wit, I was doing the bar, which is the barrister training course, and people would come up to me and say, which law judge would you like to be like? In terms of speaking, is it Lord Denning, is it Lord Steen, or so on? I said to myself, I wish I could have the advocacy skills of George Galloway. I wish I had that. A few haters in our university, even they used to admit, on a public oratory level, there's no one like him in British politics. This is a man, I believe, if he was politically expedient, he could have been a cabinet minister, if not definitely something more. But principles matter, and this man epitomizes what principle, drive, and passion can do. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, George Galloway, MP for
Chair, Mr. Zabadny, distinguished elders, brothers, sisters, comrades and friends, wassalamu alaikum. I've been quite emotional actually in the course of this meeting today. I'm speaking in public virtually every day, virtually every night, and sometimes it's duty that I have to perform. But tonight I've been filled with a mixture of pride and happiness. I don't know where to start. Maybe when my 2-year-old son Zain came in wearing a kafia to the meeting. Maybe when I heard Councillor Abjul give that wonderful address without notes, as the chair said, looking every inch, the Member of Parliament, that I'm determined he will be when the next general election comes. I felt so proud of all my colleagues here this evening. The young respect, the youth respect, being heckled by my own blood. The youth respect who put together these meetings so very well, with such style, with music and with pictures. Watching that video presentation, bringing back all those memories. I was so proud of my comrade Devon Ridley, who I must tell you travelled every mile of that journey, who slept upright in her vehicle, in her clothes, and still managed to look fabulous on the television. I was so proud looking around the room at the brothers and sisters in Birmingham, from elsewhere, who are drivers on that journey. I see from West London, my dear brother there from the Moroccan community, and many, many others around this room. I'm looking at them even now and recognizing them, that they were with me on this epic and historic journey. And so happy too, because the chair mentioned the word omens. Well, I see Mr. Zabadny at the back of the room. I see my young comrade Zach back in the fold. I'm seeing my sister Sabia from Newham. In fact, I'm seeing the winning coalition that allowed us to capture this seat 4 years ago, back together under one roof. And I tell you this, the campaign to win not one, but 2 members of Parliament from Tower Hamlets begins this evening. I have achieved some things, and I am also, it would be lying to say otherwise, proud of some of the calls that I made, some of the judgments that I made, when to be tough and when to be soft, like when I told the governor, he was the governor in fact, when I told him if you separate these vehicles, if you separate this aid, I will set fire personally to every single vehicle and everything that's in it, and you'll have to answer to the people of Egypt and the world for my having done so. I was proud of some of the calls that I made. But if I've achieved that as one respect member of Parliament, if we can get Salma Yaqub in Birmingham, in Poplar and Limehouse, will be more than 3 times more effective. We will have achieved the beginnings of a critical mass that can really change things in British politics, because nothing concentrates the mind of the other politicians and the other parties like the prospect of defeat. As Sister Yvonne told you about Rochdale, Labour, like Bethnal Green and Bow actually, thought that they could take those constituencies for granted. Thousands of Muslims, who else can the Muslims vote for but us, so we can do and say anything that we like? Well, when the people decide they've had enough and kick out the new Labour incumbent, as they did in Rochdale and did to even better effect, I think, in Bethnal Green, then that begins to make a change from which everyone will benefit. I think you've gathered a flavour of the kind of atmosphere that there was. I don't need to repeat the many stories, many of which I could add to. I could add the bits that they left out. Just suffice to say, as Yvonne did, that it was quite fractious, actually. It's quite difficult leading 350 people, 110 vehicles, across 10,000 kilometers, 8 different countries, police states that didn't want us there, when you don't know the people that you're traveling with. But as she put it, the hardships of the journey and the imminence of Palestine, which we could smell, the olives from Al Arish in that dismal, sordid car park that we'll never forget, brought us all together, so that when we entered Palestine on the birthday of the Prophet, peace be upon him, it was the happiest day of our lives. And we will never, ever forget it.